Hello, my name is Daryl Bryant Jr., and I am a senior applied liberal studies student graduating spring 2024. My education experience mainly consists of music courses. I was formerly a music major um, when I came to Morgan in the fall of 2021, and then I switched my majors to applied liberal studies, and then I eventually added music as a minor. And then I recently dropped the minor to kind of, just make sure that my courses and my graduation was going to be on time as I planned it to be in the spring. And so that's a little bit about me. I play all the saxophones, mainly alto and tenor. I have played soprano a little bit. I also play clarinet, a little bit of flute. Um, Overall, when it comes to my education, it's a lot of music, a lot of performing arts, and that's mostly what I want my career to be in. Whether it's teaching or in some capacity performing, anything that has to do with entertainment and the arts, sign me up. So what I'm here to talk about today is my internship experience, which is outside work experience, but I believe it allowed me to be great, and really show off my abilities to be more than just a musician, but also a leader and an educator and a caretaker, as well as child development. And that is working at Steve and Kate's camp. Now you may be asking, what is Steve and Kate's camp? Who are Steve and Kate? So Steve and Kate are two people who went to summer camps when they were younger. And they went to the traditional, summer camps where, you get to stay in a cabin in the woods and stuff. And they eventually decided that, they wanted to make this a career. So they came up with the idea of having Steve and Kate's camp where kids get to make their own choices. If you guys are familiar with any like role-playing games, you get to determine and dictate your path. You're not being told what to do. You're given an outline of like, these are your options and you can choose from these. Just have fun. Overall, we trust in kids. And when we trust in kids, they're able to think for themselves, make their own decisions, and really just blossom into amazing young people. And I have been witness to that countless times. They are serving the greater community at large. So all of the kids in the various locations that span the country. So from California to Texas to DC, Maryland, Virginia, all over Washington, pick a state, they probably have a camp there, or two or three. The headquarters is based out in California. I believe they're in San Francisco is where the headquarters is located. But everything that we do for the camp is fresh. So it's similar. It's kind of similar to school, but not really. We have different classrooms where we call them studios, and they're different activities that the kids can choose to participate in at any given time. They can come in and out as they please. We just ask that the kids acknowledge the counselor that's leading that studio. Hey, I'm coming into your space, or hey, I'm leaving your space to go somewhere else. And we'll be like, okay, you have fun, or come in, we have space. And one of the bigger things that I'll touch on a little bit later is having to deal with ratios, specifically at the camp that I worked at, which was a state mandated requirement. So that was a big thing that we had to deal with over the summer. So getting into the details of my duties and responsibilities at the camp, it starts from day one. It actually starts with the training. And there's a lot of training that goes into being a counselor, especially for Steve and Kate's camp. Number one, you have to be first aid and CPR AED certified for adult and pediatrics. So as per the state of Virginia, we have to take an in-person course. And that is something that I had to do. So I had to pay for the CPR course. And so I went down to Alexandria and I took the course and we practiced CPR using the AEDs. And I got to meet some really cool people and it was fun. I learned a lot. And of course, I did some online learning as well, which was definitely helpful. And so that certification allows me to be around kids and work in that environment. And so that's there's other trainings that go along with it that are state mandated, like assault training. If someone's been sexually assaulted, then that's also a thing that has to, we have to understand how to report that and how to go about those situations in any given moment. And so that's a thing that we have to go through, and those certifications have to be sent to our site director. So when we complete our training, we have to show proof that we completed it. And so I remember when I was onboarding and doing my certifications, my boss would email me and be like, hey, I didn't get your certification for this, and this. And I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna send it again because I thought I sent it. It's no worries. I would go back, send it, and we'd be all good. And that's just something on their end to make sure that everything is good, in terms of following the legal requirements, so the camp doesn't get shut down for mishandling and not following the rules. So skipping forward a little bit, once onboarding and training is complete, then we have what's called move-in weekend, where we actually set up the camp. So everything for the summer camp is purchased and sent to each location. And so we have warehouses. Our warehouse happens to be in Prince George's County, Maryland, where I'm from. And so that warehouse will ship all of its stuff to all of the DMV area camps. So the DC camps, the Maryland camps, and the Virginia camps. And so those trucks will come, and it's a lot of shipments. So we'll get like 3 to 5 trucks in like 2 days, and it's a lot of stuff. Like, those trucks are packed. We have to unpack those trucks, get all the materials off the truck. We have to do inventory. We have to make sure we have everything that's on the list that we're supposed to have. And then we have to set up the camp, how we're going to set it up for the summer. And usually these camps are hosted at a school. The school that I worked at for the camp was a Catholic school. So we also had to maneuver around, like Jesus and Mother Mary being around the camp as well. So we had to like make sure that we weren't offending anybody, but also to make sure to put it back at the end of camp. And so that was a big part. Another major responsibility, another key responsibility when it comes to working at this camp is time management, and just making sure that you're showing up to work on time, of course, but also being able to manage the kids. And it's not something where you're just, sitting and watching the kids. Like, you have to monitor the kids at all times, but also interact with them, get to know them, and have fun with them while you can as well. But also be stern and make sure, you let them know that you are the adult in charge. And that's one of the key things, because they will run you and they will make sure to let you know, hey, I don't take you seriously. And it's funny because I've experienced that, but I've also experienced the other side of putting my foot down and having them kids listen to me, because it got to a point where, my boss was like, hey, the kids are having fun, but they're not taking you seriously, so you need to just be a little bit more stern. And I was like, okay, I got you. The next day I came in and I was not playing with those kids. I literally put my foot down. I put more bass in my voice. I was like, hey, I literally just made sure to let them know, like, I'm in charge and you have to listen to what I say. Otherwise, it's going to be problems, and you don't want that. When it comes to the major accomplishments, I would say the biggest accomplishment for me was having kids tell me that they were excited to start band. I remember one day at camp, while we were running our game show that we do daily, I had a kid say, DJ, I'm gonna be starting trombone when school starts. And I was like, that is awesome, congratulations. Because a big part of my personality and who I am is music, and I express that to the kids. I would show them, what I do outside of summer camp, and like for the kids to get to know me a little bit better, and even my coworkers, this is who I am. This is me. This is me in a nutshell. I love band. I love music. This is what I do in school. And I'm just happy I got to, show off Morgan at its best. Being a part of the Magnificent Marching Machine and getting to show off my school, my alma mater, Fair Morgan, the national treasure. I'm so proud that I was able to even just have that opportunity. And it really, everybody loved it, and everybody was so supportive of it. And they really encouraged me to keep going. And I was so blown away and impressed that they loved what I did. And it just really meant a lot to me, because I was able to touch at least one kid and inspire them well enough to do music and to do band. And that to me means a lot. I will always remember that I had that impact, and that was my goal. If I could reach at least one kid and get them to want to do band, then I've done my job. And I did that. There's many more major accomplishments I could go on and on and on about. There are a couple more that I do want to touch on really quickly. The next one I want to talk about is having the confidence to lead and start camp and get the kids' attention, and just knowing that the kids are going to listen to me when I need to tell them something. And that's something that, comes with public speaking. And as someone who's never really been good with public speaking, doing presentations and all that good stuff, I knew that was one of my weaker points going into the summer. But I came out of the summer feeling confident, feeling more ready to step up and do what I got to do and be more of a leader. And it was that attitude and that success and that confidence that ended up carrying over into this semester. And I feel proud, because change isn't going to happen if you just sit back and do nothing. If you know you can do something, if you know you can say something, then why not? You never know what's going to happen. The worst that can happen is you're being told no. And so that's what, I've learned, especially this semester. You just got to take that risk. Take that risk, open your mouth and speak on it if it's really on your heart. And that was a major accomplishment. I would say that's probably my biggest accomplishment that I'm proud of this summer. There was another accomplishment that I had that I don't remember. However, I think it had something to do with the talent show that we had during the summer, because I remember the kids had just decided that they wanted to do a talent show on their own. The counselors had nothing to do with it. The kids were like, we just want to host a talent show for the campers, and we want to get the kids to sign up. And, they were like, DJ, are you going to play? Like, do you want to play? We want you to play. And I was like, sure, I'll participate. Why not? So I did what I do best, essentially. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to do something. I'm going to do what I do best. And that's, again, represent M3, represent my school. And I did. And I played one of our songs, and I performed, and I did very well. I might insert a little clip of that here in this video for you guys to see what that looked like at the camp. I just have to find it, and hopefully you guys will see that. If I do, it'll be right here. If not, then you guys just gotta trust me on that one. It was a lot of fun though. It was a lot of fun. I was nervous, but I went through it, and it was fine after that. My professional abilities grew greatly. Being a part of a team is not something that I did often in that setting. However, I was able to push myself outside of my comfort zone and what I was comfortable with in terms of a job and working, and being able to come in and be like, I don't usually take charge and take initiative. I just usually sit back and, do the bare minimum. However, I want to excel and I want to get better. So how can I be better? What can I do to help? And I was always, just checking on my leaders, checking on my leadership staff, making sure they were good. Because if they weren't good, then we weren't good. And if we weren't good, then the camp was going to fall apart. And we just couldn't have that happen. So I started out a little bit slow, needing a little bit of assistance. But once we got into the groove of things, I was able to be on autopilot, and I was coming into work early every single day. I was helping out. I was, handling tasks and responsibilities that weren't even what I was getting paid for. However, I was able to use that and really motivate myself to just keep going. And that was something that, honestly, I'm very proud of, because being able to step outside of my comfort zone, especially at the age I am now, that's big. Like, having that professional development in a career field that I'm probably not gonna pursue further than just a summer experience is something that's okay with me. But I have those skills, and I have that mindset of like, I can do this if I wanted to. And so that alone is enough for me. There were a couple challenges that I did face during the summer. And like I said, one of those was public speaking. At first, I wasn't really comfortable using my voice. I didn't know how to be stern without, being too aggressive. So that was something that I had to learn, how to manage my voice and how to really just project. Because I'm a very soft-spoken person. I'm not a loud talker. I don't really talk much. I'm very quiet. I'm very to myself a lot of times. But in that instance, when those kids were talking too much and I needed to get their attention, they were going to hear me and they heard me, and my voice got deep. And so having attention grabbers, like if you can hear my voice clap once, if you can hear my voice clap twice, those are some of the things that we did to get the kids' attention, because it gave a call and an action. So if they did that action, that means they were listening. And if they weren't, that means they weren't listening because they were talking. And that was a problem that we faced a lot. But we overcame it. We definitely had ways to discipline those kids. And we let them know, like, hey, if you're not going to behave properly, then we got to find some alternative for you. We also had a lot of campers that are on the spectrum, and so the way they learn and have fun and process things, we had a lot of sensory sensitive kids as well. So that was a challenge at first. Luckily, we had one staff member who's one of my really good friends now. They are certified in dealing with kids on the spectrum, and so they were kind of our lead person for that. But we also learned a lot in how to navigate those kids, and also through their parents giving us notes, because we have a database for all of the kids, and the parents can upload notes and everything. And so that was a challenge that we faced. And sometimes those kids might have had behavioral issues as a result of other kids not understanding them. And we had to go in and be like, hey, it's okay to be different, and we just tried to navigate those the best way that we knew how. So the insights that I personally gained about, childcare development is mainly that not every child is going to learn the same. Not every child is going to work the same. But when you are able to connect with them, and especially getting on their level and meeting them eye to eye, kneeling down to talk to them, bending down to talk to them, it really means a lot to them because you're engaging with them, you're making eye contact with them. It shows that you care, and they really, really take to that. I had a lot of kids, a lot of campers that I got close to that really just mean a lot to me because I was able to connect with them on some things, mainly video games, and it was cool because we got to talk about stuff, and I got to give them insight, and I got to help them, and they even taught me some things which I didn't even know about. So I was just happy that I was able to do all of that. So that's one thing that I am super, super grateful for. Child care development and child development is not an easy field to be in. There will always be challenges. There will always be, a child that just doesn't get it. However, you just got to do the best you can. You just got to keep going. And I think all of this is very helpful when it comes to my career goals and my future. As someone who personally, I've always said, I want to take my talents and give back to the community. I want to, in the long distant future, open my own performing arts school, where kids can learn and develop their talents in the arts, and just be free, be artistically free to discover themselves, and just be a safe space for kids and teens to come and just get their expression and their emotions out in a creative and healthy way, that can also benefit them in life and in the long run, because that can turn into scholarship money, that can turn into getting discovered, and that can turn into a better life for them, whether they're from, no matter their background. And that's something that I really just appreciate. So overall, Stephen Cates Camp, I loved it. I would definitely go back if asked, if I wanted to, if I just felt like applying again, which I probably will. I probably will be applying again over the summer. I'm excited. I really loved working this summer. And even in 2019, during my first summer, I was very excited. Back when I was brand new to it, I still had the same, I was very new to being a counselor, and I was just excited to learn. And as a result, I was the kid's favorite counselor, and I ended up being the favorite counselor again this year. And I'm excited because I wanna go for that three-peat. I wanna be the kid's favorite counselor again. I wanna come back after I've graduated and be like, hey guys, remember me? Because it was some kids that asked me, like, am I gonna be here next year? And I said, guys, I honestly don't know. Maybe I might be, we just gotta wait and see. I didn't want to tell them yes or no because I honestly hadn't made up my mind yet. But, whatever happens, happens. And I hope, that providing things go well, I can come back to that same location. I really loved working there. I definitely would do it again. It was something fun. It was something free. But we just gotta wait and see. And one of the things, a couple of things I want to mention before I end this video, in this presentation, are some of the things that I got from my experience. So first thing, is my staff badge, which I don't know if you guys can see. So it has my name, and there's a QR code, that even the campers have these, and it has their name. So we have a database where we have devices, we have staff devices, iPhones and iPads, where we can scan their badge, and we have all their information, like their medications, any staff parent notes for anything that they feel is useful for us at camp. And we also use it for their lunch orders. So when a kid comes to camp in the morning, if they didn't bring a lunch from home, then they will be asked what they want to order for lunch. We put that order in. And once we order that food, because our lunch is catered daily, they have the option of pizza, hot dog, a daily rotating pasta, And at my location this summer, they had bagels with cream cheese. So they had those options. And we also give them morning and afternoon snack. So the kids are well fed. And we encourage them to drink lots and lots of water, especially when it's hot outside. And if the UV index is too high, if it's too hot outside, we will not have outdoor play, um, just for the safety of the kids, because these kids are, they're very, 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 very sensitive. They have very sensitive skin, as well as me. But we also provide lots and lots of sunscreen. We have these really cool staff shirts that have really cool sayings on them. Like, this one is my personal favorite. I trust kids so much. My life coach sleeps with a teddy bear. I love this shirt. This is my personal favorite. There's a whole bunch of different sayings, and they change every year. So I'm probably going to order some more, which are free, by the way. When you become a counselor at the camp, you order those shirts. It's a pack of 5, and you get them for free. And you can just order them. Like, you don't even have to pay. They ship them to you for free, and you get them in like a couple days. And also, we have these things that I'm wearing. They're called moose bands, because our mascot is Murray the Moose. And we also have Chucky the chicken, who we hide around camp, and we have daily riddles that pertain to his daily whereabouts. The kids find him, he gets a prize. It's a very big deal. We also have game show, which is fun that the kids can enjoy in the afternoon. They get one of these for participating, and if you win a small prize, where it's kind of like bingo, and they have these, it's called Antlers Up. So we have these cards, and there's like 2 sets of antlers, and you can win a small prize, which you get 3 in a row. And then if you get all 9, then you win a grand prize. And all small prize winners get a moose buck, which they can redeem for small prizes, or they can save them and get better prizes. Or if you get a grand prize, we have those big, nice grand prizes where you can get like pillows, plushies, anything, like literally anything. It's so cool. It's so fun. And watching a camp be set up from the ground up is fantastic. I love it so much. And we sell 90% of the stuff at the end of camp. So whatever, is in good condition, we do inventory again, and we put it up for sale at a discounted rate. So you can buy iPads, and literally anyone can come in and see what we have for sale and buy whatever's left. And we encourage, because the more stuff that gets bought, the less stuff that we have to break down. But I want to thank you guys for this opportunity for me to share my camp, my internship experience. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope I encourage you guys to apply for the camp and to check out more. And if you guys want more information, go to StephenCatesCamp.com. Thank you.